Hi guys, I'm Adrian, and today's film, Heat. May I start by saying Robert De Niro and Al Pacino on different sides of the law? Hell yes. Heat is one of my all-time favorite action movies. From the story to the morals to the big robbery to Al Pacino and Robert De Niro, and everything in this movie keeps me engaged. You know Vincent isn't a good guy, you know Neil isn't a good guy. But somehow you still find a way to root for both of them, one of them, or none of them at all. That's the beauty of Heat. It's open to interpretation. It doesn't try to prove anything. It's just a cold, hard story of morals and conflicts told in the most realistic and entertaining way it could be. We start with our opening heist. This introduces us to our characters on the other side of the law, including freaking Wangro. This crazy sadistic dude is the whole reason there was so much heat on the crew in the first place. But I digress. The heist goes well and planned as it's supposed to. A clean heist with no interruptions, done professionally and efficiently. It shows how experienced these guys are, how well they handle their business, and the film simultaneously shows something going wrong in a crew where things don't. It also explains how they handle wrongdoings in the field. Wangro is dealt with, and this explains that this crew means business. They don't play around with unnecessary bloodshed and risks that don't need to be taken. This sets the stage for the type of crew we're dealing with, and it lets the audience put themselves in the mindset of a career criminal. Pacino's character has this incredible intrigue that only Pacino could pull off. He's a detective, and his intro is absolutely badass. He assesses the entire crime with barely any dialogue and freaking pointing at stuff. Only his gesture demanding an answer from his subordinates. Crazy thing about Pacino's character is that in order to catch a criminal, he thinks like one. This entails that Pacino could have been a criminal himself, and he would have been a damn good one. He knows the smartest possible routes and routines for these crimes and how they were committed with precision. What separates Al Pacino from De Niro is that although Pacino knows how to do it, De Niro is the one to make it happen. Vince and his wife have a pretty complicated relationship. The way they talk to each other is extremely transparent but aggressive, as Vincent is married to his job. His wife is privy to this fact, but it seems that she has simply accepted it for the time being, hoping for something better later in life. I think she knows in her heart that this won't change. Vince is going to be a cop until he dies. It's what she loves about him, his passion and his will to be a police officer. But it also serves to their relationship's detriment. He's never home enough, and his daughter, I believe, suffers with anxiety or some sort of mental illness. She is left in her mother's care, and we can see that Vince's wife isn't perfect herself. You can see that they both love and care for their child, but you can also see that they are at a point in their relationship where the world is affecting their daughter. As far as the job, the same goes for De Niro's character Neil. His job always comes first. He's married to his job. He is a career criminal and has no problem admitting it or accepting it. He's good at what he does and knows that. Just as much as Vincent is a good cop and a damn good one, De Niro is a career criminal and a damn good one. But the reason he's so good at what he does is because he has a set of rules and morals and he follows them to a T. We're not given every single rule he has, but the audience can assume enough that it is quite strict and has kept him out of jail during his career, and these morals have allowed for jobs to be completed successfully. We see Neil meet a nice woman, and it's plain to see that they fall in love with each other. We get to see the softer side of Neil and see him confide in someone. Through this relationship, though, we see how invested he can be, but it is backhanded in how his one foot is always hanging out the door. It's interesting to see how someone could be so open in sharing themselves to someone, yet have an entire other life going on. But of course, we know what Neil said.
Don't let yourself get attached to anything you are not willing to walk out on in 30 seconds flat if you feel the heat around the corner.
This is some of the hardest foreshadowing in film. It's so obvious, yet it still hits so hard when he walks out on Edie. It's here we learn just how true Neil is to the game. All he had to do was get in the car, but he felt the heat around the corner, and in 30 seconds flat, he walked out on Edie. It's not emotionalist. It wasn't personal. It's just the game he plays. Val Kilmer's character is a little different. All he wants is love and will risk getting caught to secure it. He's not the greatest guy. He's a gambling addict, and times have gotten tough for him and his lady. He's going to need another job before they can run away and be happy. I love the scene where Vincent catches Charlene having an affair. He scares the crap out of her and makes her promise to give Chris another chance. It's no secret that they love each other, and Chris would do anything for Charlene. Vincent knows this too. The whole reason Chris is on the job is for Charlene and his child. So if Chris finds out about the affair, he has no reason to carry out the job. It makes the audience wonder if Vincent truly cares for Chris or if he truly cares about completing the job. I love that the entire movie shows everything and everyone Vincent cares about. His close relationship he shares with his crew and their families, his relationship with Edie. He's not a heartless man, but as you can see all these things he cares about, it becomes painfully ironic knowing that he would walk out on all of these things in 30 seconds flat had he felt the heat coming around the corner. This isn't saying he wouldn't try to protect his own, as we could see him pick up Chris after he gets shot. But if it came down to Vince or Chris, Vince is picking Vince. Two men so similar on different sides of the law. Kind of sounds like Justified. It's easy to compare the two to Boyd and Raylan, two men who are both excellent at what they do, yet they are on opposite sides of the law. One could just as easily be the other had the badge been in the other hands. I think these kinds of stories are the best, not good versus evil, but rather conflicting ideologies, conflicting characters. They are the antithesis of each other, but such a mirror image. This is why they respect each other. This is why they are able to sit down at a table and have a real conversation. This is one of my favorite scenes in film. Two boss level characters not only get to speak and build tension, but get to do one of the most important things in film, the things that turns films into oncers, into something you can watch to cope with life. It's what makes characters relatable and what makes an audience get behind them. These two men are finally able to understand each other. The fact that these men understand each other's morals and actions, their ideologies, makes this conflict, this rivalry, truly worthwhile. When you can understand exactly why someone does something, how they do it, and what exactly it is they are going to do, it makes for a much better story than having to be surprised about what's going to happen next. Heat has beauty in its predictability. I want to thank you guys for watching my video on Heat. Be sure to like, comment, and all that good stuff. And let's discuss what I missed. See you guys in the next one.